Hey guys, and welcome and happy Chinese New Year. Yes, today is Chinese New Year Eve, and since I didn't do this video in January like I intended, courtesy of a sore throat, my New Year video comes late and has to be replaced by a Chinese New Year greeting instead. We're going to kick the year off, so to speak, with a really badass dragon, the Series 6 Warrior Dragon. Now the Warrior class is new to McFarlane. You guys know I don't generally like humanoid draconian type dragons. However, it's impossible not to like this guy. Now straight in the box, he looks really fierce and really dangerous. The pose is incredibly dynamic even inside, and it looks good enough to keep in box for display. But you know, a good dragon simply begs to be opened up, so... Now here out of box, you can see why he looks so good in the box. He's already in one piece in the exact pose he's meant to be displayed in. He's even already affixed to the base. Now the most striking thing about this dragon is the pose. It's action ready, fraught with tension. A fighter about to mix it up with an opposing enemy, perhaps another dragon. Now he looks very imposing indeed. You get the impression of a robust creature, thick-set, a bruiser and a brawler. Now dramatic curvature is present throughout. You can see it in every part of the dragon. The roaring mouth, and you see the open graspers here, the arms, look at the fingers, the leg, and then the gripping feet, the pulled back wings. Even the wings look ready to be part of the attack. The tension is palpable in every fiber of the dragon. Now that's the kind of thing that makes a really great statue, because it's so dynamic that any angle you view him from, he's going to look fantastic. Not just the aspect, but also whether you're looking at it from the bottom or from the top. So you can have it on a higher or a lower shelf, it doesn't matter, he's going to look really great. Now he doesn't have much articulation and he doesn't need it, but what he does have add to the possibilities. His arms articulate at the shoulders. Okay, articulate at the shoulders. And thanks to the positioning of the fingers and these twin blades, he's gonna look fierce and deadly from any angle. The neck also articulates. And it's rather ingenious. The seam here is hidden because it's right here at this neck strap. So when you turn it, there's hardly any discontinuity whatsoever. Really nice. You cannot see any seam at all. And that's really clever. Now, being a warrior, it makes sense to have armor. And that armor is both beautifully painted and detailed. Not sure if you can see it, there's a metallic sheen throughout the armor. It's actually a little shiny. And there's embossed detail on every piece. Now if you look here at these little granules here, that's very nice detail and it's all in relief. The shoulder pauldrons and the ties, the thigh plates are spiked. And the gauntlets have two blades running in two different directions. That's unusual and makes it look even more dangerous. Probably very, very useful for stabbing and slashing in any direction and from any position. Now the breastplate is ornamented with an embossed dragon head. The neck armor consists of realistically jointed segments, allowing full range of motion. And one thing that was a surprise for me was this human. Something I didn't realize I didn't notice in photos and even in the box. Now, detail-wise, the head of the dragon looks like a cross between a Balrog and a predator. You see the horns here and this mouth and these mouth graspers here. It's short and rather blunt-faced, hinting at its ability to take punishment. The horns have an unusual carved design here. with a sheen that suggests lacquering. The mouth is detailed with tongue, roof of the mouth, and sharp teeth, all very nicely defined. Now, texture is there, but there is a general roughness to it which supports the theme of a warrior. There's nothing really intricate or delicate about this. It's not a very armed dragon as might be expected, but there are pairs of tail spikes that do go a long way up the tail, rather like a Stegosaurus tegomizer on steroids. Now, it's not a gaudy dragon. It's got generally two main colors, green on the dorsal aspect of the dragon, here on the wings, and then yellow on the ventral aspect. However, they are matched quite nicely together, so they seem to blend quite well. And so even though this color itself may be relatively drab, the overall effect is rather pleasing to the eye. The green in the head actually seems rather metallic. Just appreciate that with the texture of the scales, and all these plates seem to make up an inbuilt armor to the animal, and that's really nice. And if you look at the detail on the hands too, very nice detail on the palm pads. Now, one thing could be an eyesore. These blue and white stripes here on the wing, and then here again on the tail. But because of the presence of this human, I'd say they're just war paint, so their sloppy nature has an excuse. Now, as for the human, you really can't make out much detail as you'd expect from previous figures of this sort. He's bearded with a Viking style helmet, holding some sort of axe. But interesting is his howdah. Now, there is very nice detailing on the howdah indeed. You have a very thatched appearance here, resting on a metal plate which blends well with the armor of the dragon. And then here, if you can see it, on the front of the howdah, there is an embossed skull motif. Very nice. The base comes firmly attached, and I don't want to risk removing the dragon. It appears to be flat rock landscape, presumably a place chosen for that very reason to do battle. There are also nice clumps of vegetation here, and the overall detail really is rather pleasing. So to summarize, this dragon at first glance has many things I don't like in some dragon depictions: a humanoid, a draconian soldier appearance, a human rider, and clothes. Yet the impressive, exciting, and dangerous feel, the readiness of every muscle to burst forth with action, an extremely dynamic pose, and just overall aesthetics makes this a winner in my book. So surprisingly, I don't hesitate to say that this fantastic dragon belongs in your collection. He'd be great on display anywhere you want to. Almost like a sign says, "You shall not pass." And be reminded also to get your own ass into action. And for the purpose of this video, a nice, looks like he's almost welcoming the new year in and saying, let's take on all challenges head on.